Hey friends, I get this question all the time. What is a beneficiary of a trust? In very simple terms, being the beneficiary just means you get the benefit of the trust. And that's different from the trustee. So when you set up a trust, there's three terms that you should really understand: settlor or creator, or trustor, trustee, and beneficiary. What are these different terms? So the settlor or the trustor, that's the person who creates the trust. The trustee, that refers to the person or people who manage the trust. The beneficiary, that's the person or the people who benefit from the funds or the assets in the trust. And that's a really powerful thing if you really think about it, having a separation between management and the benefit of a trust that lets you create protections. So let's say you have a child who is in their teens and you want to make sure that if something happens to you, they don't come into a bunch of money when they're either a teenager or when they're 18 or 19 years old. Well, you can create a living trust that says, hey, if something happens to me before my child is 25 or 30, money will be held in trusts for them, or you create a separate trust for them. And you can say someone else will manage that money for them, trustee, until they reach a certain age. But even when someone else is managing it for them, they are still the beneficiary. So that the trustee manages the trust, but the trustee doesn't use the money for themselves. They can pay themselves a management fee for it, but the trust funds are there to use to support the beneficiary. So again, if you have a child and you want to make sure they don't come into too much money too soon, you say, if something happens to me before they're 25 or 30, the money is held in trust until they're 30. Until they're 30, they are the beneficiary of that trust. Someone else you name, maybe it's a family member, a friend, someone you trust, is the trustee who oversees it for them, makes sure no stupid decisions are made, make sure the money's invested well, make sure it's reasonably dispersed to them, not to buy a Lamborghini, but to maybe pay for their rent or education. And when they reach the age of your choosing, if it's a very simple trust, maybe the money just all comes out to your child, or maybe your child becomes their own trustee in the case of a dynasty trust or different structures. So beneficiary just really refers to who gets the benefit of a trust. And that can be the same or it can be different from who the trustee is. That's the person or people who manage the trust, which can be different or the same as the creator of the trust or trustor. They're usually different people if it's a trust you set up for someone else. If it's your living trust or revocable living trust you create for yourself, you are often the trustee and the beneficiary. But if it's something you set up for a child or a grandchild, they're often different roles. So trust terms can be confusing. I hope this helped clear this one up. Like, subscribe, share this with someone who's confused about this, and let me know if you have any questions. Stay tuned for more.